Hey everybody, it is Timothy Roy, and I'm here with another episode of Tuesdays with Tim, and in hopes of helping you get your relationship right. When I'm working with folks who are struggling in their relationship stuff, something that comes up rather regularly is this topic, this idea of that something's unfair. So specifically what I mean is when it comes to a couple that's having some challenges with things, it's up to somebody to begin, right? Somebody has to start. Us, on the rare occasion, maybe both start at the same time, but often and more often than not, somebody feels like they have to swallow it, if you will, and have to start. And it feels really unfair because they feel really, really justified in their own position. And what I want to help get across to you is, if you're stuck in that situation, if you're stuck in a situation where you feel like it'd be really unfair for you to come forward and make the first move and sort of bury the hatchet, even though it seems like, really, it feels like you know that it's the right thing to do, but you just feel really justified in your own position. Well, what do you do? Well, one of the things that I try to help my people understand is that all the happiness and fulfillment that you're looking for in relationship is going to be on the other side of that fairness. Because, if you looked up the definition of fair, it would be something like, not without bias or it's equal judgment and all of these things, right? But what would be more useful and effective than accessing your own point of leverage? And I speak about point of leverage a lot. So where do you get your point of leverage? So where you can actually make a change. So if you're sitting there and waiting for the other person to make that first initial step all the time, well, how is that fair to you? How is it fair to you to take the power you have available inside of you and go throw it inside of somebody else? It's like, here you go, you take that. Take all the power that I have available, and you do whatever you need with it, and I'm going to sit here and wait until it feels right. Well, maybe that's not the best solution. And so I'm going to encourage you to, if you're ever coming up with a feeling that it's unfair, it's unfair for you to take the first step or something, I'm going to ask you, well, what's most fair to you? What is most fair? Is it more fair to you to take that power that's available to you and give it over to somebody else and hope that they do something with it that you like? Or is it more fair to you to actually take control of your own inner environment, right, and start that inner alchemical change of becoming the way that you want to roll in relationship? Now, the thing is that it takes courage to do that, because you don't know how that's going to affect the relationship. And so you might be highly invested into how the relationship has been, even if you don't like it. Even if you don't feel good in that relationship, at least it's what you know, right? So it's kind of like that, the devil that you do know is better than the devil that you don't. And so that having the courage to go in and take that step and say, you know what, I'm going to challenge this feeling that I'm having inside of me, where it all feels unfair, and I'm going to start taking the first steps. And I am going into the direction that I want and seeing how I want to roll in relationship, and see if my relationship will kind of morph into its alchemical state and come around and be in alignment with how you want to roll in your relationships. So focusing more on how you want to be, one of the principles that I put out there is who am I being while I'm doing, right? So when you're doing relationship, who are you being? And are you fundamentally stuck on the positionality of your own judgments? And if you're not willing to challenge those things, then you might find it a really, really difficult time to not only maybe improve your relationship, but even if that relationship deteriorates and dissolves, you get into the next one, and the same things will have a tendency to arise once again, because things that go unresolved will definitely continue to sprout. So maybe it's time to just tackle that. And if you look into the Arbinger Institute's work, they have a great book called Leadership and Self-Deception, and it's all about this whole idea about Well, they call it self-deception, but self-deception always tracks back to something that's referred to as a self-betrayal. So at some point in my past, I knew better, but I didn't do better, and that planted a seed, and now I'm reaping the rewards of the seed that got planted back there. So if I take ownership over that, I did indeed have the authority to plant that seed, and I did have an I lived at cause with that. I was the causation of that seed being planted, even if it was based in ignorance or innocence, or just, you're just doing the best you could at the time. If you don't own that moment and then try to move forward from there and start planting new seeds, you're gonna have a real tough time. So I'm gonna encourage you, if you're feeling that things are unfair, to challenge that, reverse it around. It's a little bit of a mind game for sure, but it's the mind game you want, right? It's like I'm playing a game with myself, my own mind, and saying, hey, what's actually fair to me? And what actually might be fair to you is to let go of this whole idea of what's unfair and get to the other side of it, so you can claim the power that's available to you, so you can actually move forward to how it is that you want to roll in relationship. So there you go. There's a little Tuesdays with Tim, little tidbit, if you will. How's that for some alliteration? And you know what? I might throw out some random posts too, but at bare minimum, we're going to get you a little tip every Tuesday that can might be able to help you out a little bit. And if you are so inclined, if you'd like to know more information about this, you can check out what we're up to at gettingrelationshipright.com, or check me out at timothyroy.com if you are looking for some more direct help, or if you need some assistance in what is happening in your relationship world. Happy to help, at least happy to have a conversation. Those often happen at no charge. So anyways, have a beautiful day, and remember, reclaim what is fair for you. Inside, let go of this notion of what's unfair, because everything you want, all the happiness and fulfillment, might just be on the other side of what you think you're calling unfair. All right, cheerio, everybody.